Hello, I'm Christoph Terhechte from the Berlin Film Festival Forum section.
Hi Christopher, how are you? It's really a pleasure to meet you here in Busan.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm fine, thank you.
First of all, congrats on your Korean Cinema Award.
Oh, thank you very much.
I didn't know that you have someone like you has been contributing for Korean film industry for over 17 years, right?
It's 16 years actually. I'm running 16 editions of the forum at the Berlinale, and I counted today we showed 37 Korean films during that time. Yes.
How do you feel receiving this award?
It's a great honor. I mean, I'm very moved that people actually appreciate what I've been doing in Berlin. Of course, Korean cinema is not the only cinema that we've been showing, but I've always had a very weak spot for Korean films, and there were just enough fantastic, crazy, amazing, interesting Korean films for me to pick from, so it almost came naturally.
I actually checked like some of movies you've introduced to global market, like Take Care of My Cat, what is it called, like a Mr. Vengeance?
Oh, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance by Park Chan-wook, yes.
And like many Korean cinema, definitely. I think you like Beduna. Maybe.
Oh, yes, of course I do. But actually, I don't think I often choose films for the actors and actresses. Of course, I mean, there are iconic actors in this country. I just saw A Taxi Driver with Song Kang-ho, who's one of my favorites.
One of my favorite too.
I adore him, but usually we choose films based on the directors and the expression, the style of the film. Park Chan-wook is certainly someone who developed a very distinct style. But you mentioned Take Care of My Cat, which was actually the first film that I selected here from Busan after I became director of the forum. And we've been introducing a lot of new filmmakers to our audiences, not just well-known people like Park Chan-wook or Hong Sang-soo, whose first films were shown in the forum even before I became director.
You meet a lot of like a new rising movie directors and different genre, and like, could you please tell us about what's your work exactly in Berlin International Film Festival?
Well, my work is a lot more than just selecting films, of course. I have to secure the budget, I have to do a lot of administrative work. There's a lot of reality. It's not just like being in film festivals and walking over red carpets. That is actually the smallest part, maybe the most pleasant part. Of course, it's wonderful when you come to a country like Korea and you are in a film festival, you're being welcomed, hospitality is great here. And then you get to meet filmmakers who hope to bring their films to an international stage. It's a privilege to do that, but it's in fact just a very small part of my work. I have to make sure that the festival runs, and my main concern is our audiences. In Berlin we have a huge audience, and they're the people I care for. And when I see a film and I think about whether I should bring it to Berlin or not, I'm thinking of our audiences.
I think according to the background of history of the film festival, I think Berlin Film Festival is more like open-minded, open to all different like nations and also genre and also topics and themes.
I think that's in the history of the festival. The festival was created in divided Berlin by the Americans. The Americans thought that West Berlin needs some attraction, it needs some international status, it needs to have the stars, because it was surrounded by communist Germany, so it was something to raise the spirit of this city. But from the beginning, because Germany had this very violent history, and Germany was the perpetrator of the Second World War, killing so many, the idea was peace and understanding. And this was the spirit that has kept the festival until today, where about communication between people and not about division. So the festival very early on has started to show films from all around the world and has brought national cinematographies to the attention of our audiences that were so far neglected by other festivals and certainly also by distribution. So Korean films, for example, have been shown rather early on in the Berlin Film Festival.
Accept diversity and not accept just uniformity.
But we have to keep a fight to really make our voice to be heard.
We're all in this together. There's none of us who can escape others' realities. We're all human beings. We live on this little planet together, and we have to embrace each other and love each other.
You also mentioned censorship. You know, like at least in Korea, you know, people can fight for it. You know, like to keep their like identity or their what they want to see. But what about like China? Huge censorship.
Of course. It's sad. It's sad because a lot of talent is wasted this way. Often films that receive the permission to shoot are then censored once they're finished, and I've seen so many films in China that unfortunately could not be shown in festivals or distributed, and nowadays China even bans me from seeing the films because filmmakers are not allowed to show foreign programmers their films.
It's insane.
Without approval. It is insane. It's very, very sad, and they're wasting their talent, and also they have a very old-fashioned view on what film can do. We're talking about artistic films that are not changing the world. They're not the spark for a revolution or anything. These are films that show how great the artistic potential of a country is, and hiding them from audiences, both national and international, is, in my point of view, a very stupid thing to do.
Like as a person who belongs to the film organization, are there any belief or goal that you think film festivals shouldn't forget?
I think there are two types of film festivals. The ones that are meant as meeting points for the industry and to highlight new developments in the film world, to showcase them to the industry. And there are film festivals like Busan or Berlin that are audience-driven festivals. So we shouldn't forget that usually the audiences are far more daring than the film industry believes.
You watch a lot of movies and also meet different people from all over the world. How's your lifestyle?
It's quite crazy, but I adore it. I adore it because I can see so many different people. I can experience so many different culture, and seeing films in a place like Busan is a gift. It's something that most people don't even start to dream of, and I can live in this world and have a window on the world, and that's what film festivals should give you, a window on the world.
I think like movie has such a strong power, definitely inspire people. Do you think as a creator or artist who can inspire people, do you think these people have like kind of responsibility to fulfill to society?
I don't think so, no. I think the main responsibility of artists is to remain true to themselves. And if they do, then the chance that people will appreciate and understand what they do are much higher than if they have other objectives in mind. If you think too much of your audiences as a filmmaker or society, then I think you will be misled, and the films will become less interesting. I believe firmly that an artist foremost bears responsibility for his own personal expression.